Racing on Thursday takes place out at Turffontein. We are racing on the standside track. We've got 8 races on the program, and race number 1 commences at 12 over the 1160 meter trip. It is a maiden plate that will kickstart the bipod for us on Thursday. And joining me on the line is Alistair Cohen. Alistair, how are you doing? How's everything going your side? And obviously a great weekend coming up at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth with some nice features in store for us. And it's going to be great to see Princess Kala, see it again, Charles Dickens all in action.
Yeah, thanks, Raheel. Yeah, we're back at the scene of the Betway Summer Cup for this meeting that we're about to preview on Thursday, the scene of Royal Victory's famous win. But as for this weekend, obviously the highlights on the card, according to group status, is obviously the World Sports Betting Cape Fillies Guineas, where 14 runners go to post, and there's a lot of talk for at least half the field going into this race. So that all makes for a lot of excitement. The vibe coming out of day one of the Cape Summer Festival is sensational. I can't actually begin to describe. But yes, there's a lot of things that we can do better, and hopefully by the time we get to the Lomaran Kings Plate, things are really at an enhanced and world-class level. But day one, everyone left with a smile on their face. Everyone was impressed with what they saw, and this place was absolutely heaving. And then we go into the first grade one of the Cape Summer season this coming Saturday. But the grade 2 World Sports Betting Greenpoint Stakes, as you mentioned, we'll see it again. Princess Kala, Charles Dickens. Can Al Matana topple the big guns again? That all remains to be seen. But the Greenpoint, remember about 5 years ago, I was actually chatting about it at dinner on Tuesday night, with that great finish between Legal Eagle, Undercover Agent, Rainbow Bridge, and Do It Again in the Greenpoint roughly 5 years ago. That was easily the race of the decade on the South African calendar. The easiest one to remember, just the grandstand finish and the heavyweights battling it out. And if we get something half as good this coming Saturday, then I think everyone will leave happy.
Yeah, we certainly look forward to the action coming up this week, Saturday. But racing on Thursday, race number 1, favourite is Phantom Express at 13-10. It's 22-10 about Joker Man. You got Great Barrier at 9-2. And then it's 16-1 and Better Bar Those. Now, this filly, Phantom Express, taking on the boys. Her penultimate start behind Woman of Power, where she was backed off the boards. And Woman of Power subsequently come through to win once again. And then last time out, she just found a huge outside in the form of Grape Shot, 1-2 good for on the day, but the form line is holding up quite nicely, and this does look to be the right type of race for her now, having a peak out in.
I'd agree with that, Raheel. I think number 9, Phantom Express, was a third run after a rest. There's a lot in her favour. A little bit worried that on both occasions she's moved up with enough in hand and not gone on with it, so that is a slight downer on her part, but I think that she probably cracked the right field. If you look at it, bar the first timers who we know nothing about, the main dangers according to form, I think will need the run. Great Barrier's been a little bit stop-start. She's got a fair amount of ability, but after 245 days off, be a surprise if she were to win, although I think that she can go well enough and a nice inclusion definitely to get into the top 3. And then number 3, Joker Man, also coming off a layoff. The Brosnan form's worked out well, but it's a little bit surprising that it's worked out that well, because Brosnan's no great shakes. And I think number 9, Phantom Express, is just in the right place at the right time. I don't know if there's much improvement to come from anyone of the first timers. It's interesting that Pila Sunday Oli is riding number 2 on the cards. So of the matched runners, is that the elect? I don't know. I'd take a stance to say that must be showing something for Pila Sunday to be on. Match has got 4 runners in the race, so maybe there's something there. Maybe I'm seeing spooks, so that could be a nice horse just to watch the market on, watch him go down to the start, and if there's any type of talk and any support in the market, worth including. But I think number 9, Phantom Express, like I said, right place, right time, should get you off to a winning start.
Yeah, she does seem to be the right horse in race number 1. We'll move along to race number 2 on the program, 1,600 meters the distance. 1 o'clock is the off time. It's the start of the place accumulator as well. Your fixed odds betting market has got just Nuisance at the top, 15-10. 3-1 into 5-2 about To the Rescue. Officer in Command is trading at 11-2. It's 6-1 about Lam Muhal, and then it's 14-1 and Better Bar Those. Now, when we have a look at this contest, this horse, Just Nuisance, was beaten by what looks to be a very, very smart sort in the making in the form of Tegan's Champ. He was all the talk on debut, was the son of Give Me the Green Light, and he duly got the job done for the Habib team and all the winning connections. And this horse, gate number 1, now stepping up in trip to 1,600 meters. He could obviously show quite a bit of improvement, but I think there's a few dangers in this contest, the likes of numbers 8 and 9, the pair from the Mike de Kock yard.
No, I like the Tarry horse number 10 to the rescue. He's my top choice. Even though I've got two horses in my PA, which is my suggested bet, they are 2 and 10. 2 just nuisance, just because of his consistency and the fact of the day he wins, which won't be too far from now. It could even be here. He would be deserving. So you're not gonna take away a victory from just nuisance when he gets the job done. But this horse to the rescue, I'll call that first run. Go and watch it closely. He looks like a real smart racehorse. I hope he's not a good-looking slow racehorse, but the way that he ran on over the final 400 last time, there's something about this horse. The step up in distance should be in his favour. Pierre Stradham takes the ride. The age of 57, he's still riding at the top of his game. You'll remember the mother, #YOLO. She started her career with a bang. Obviously, she was bereft with problems throughout her career, but she was definitely a group quality filly. There was no doubts about that. And when To the Rescue went down to the start on debut, I looked at him closely because, when you get famous, familiar colours, you tend to spend a little bit more time looking at the horse in hand, and he went down to the start so nicely, and just he looked like a horse that's just going to get better when he goes over ground. So this is it for me, number 10 To the Rescue. No surprise to see a touch of support from him. I'm tipping him on top from number 2 Just Nuisance, who may have to settle for second again.
Yeah, number 10 To the Rescue. There's been early support for him, so that could certainly be a positive sign for the son of Gimme the Green Light. Well-bred individual as well that will love every inch of the 1600-meter trip. Moving along to race number 3 on the program, a maiden plate for fillies and mares over the mile, 13:35 the off time. This will be the start of the pick 6, and having a look at the fixed odds betting market, Springer tops the boards at 11-10. It's then 6-1 about Outer Dimension, 6-1 Like a Butterfly, and then you get in 7-1 and Better Bar those. Now, this horse, Springer, at 11-10 in the market, has got a deep draw to contend with, but the yard have seemed to come good of late, and Gavin Arena gets the board, so she could certainly go well in this contest if being able to overcome that draw with a bit of ease.
Yeah, you know what, Raheel, this race is shallow. The draw's obviously a concern. These colours have done me favours over the last couple of weeks. There was one Religion a couple of Sundays back that I made the best bet on the card, went off 33-10, 7-2. That arrived, and then Alicia's Love on Tuesday, making no mistakes, although at a shorter price. That was never in doubt. I wouldn't go as far to say that this is an absolute good thing because of the draw. If she was drawn better, I'd be climbing in, taking as much 11-10 as possible. She probably wouldn't be 11-10 if she was drawn in the middle, but just looking at the quality or the lack thereof in this race, I think the others are back to the wall. Almost half the field be lucky to win a race in their career. Outer Dimension I can make a case for, but she's also drawn in the bush. Her last run was very poor. Venetian Moonlight with blinkers on might travel a little bit better. I think that's been her Achilles heel, that she doesn't travel all that well, so maybe that will brush her up a little bit. But then she's got how many lengths to find? She's got 4 lengths to find with number 5 Springer. That's not going to be easy to turn around. And also this horse, Like a Butterfly, number 13, there was talk and money for her on debut, backing up 7 days later. I don't normally like to see that, but the fact that there was support for her on debut, just keep her in the back of your mind. But I can't see a horse running 17 and a half lengths back a week before suddenly coming and troubling a horse like Springer, who's just got the numbers to recommend.
Yeah, I fully agree with you on that. Springer, definitely the right horse in the race, and if it wasn't for the draw, she'd possibly be close to 10 out of 10 bet in this contest. Moving along to race number 4 on the program, a fillies and mares 90 handicap over 1800 meters, 2 is the off time. Having a look at this contest, it is Apache Fighter at 3-1. Then you've got 33-10 about LMB, Special Charm, 7-2 Say Yes, 5-1 Opera Glass, and then it's 10-1 about the pair Ballroom Bliss and Poor Little Rich Girl. Now, this contest, Alistair, what's your thoughts on race number 4? Because this was Apache Fighter. Last time out, it was just right race, right time for her to strike, and she sort of got the job done. Draw 1, I see Jeffrey Seister has been booked to ride, take over from Raymond Danielson, and she's a horse that has done well at this track over track and trip, so she must be in with a winning chance and only going up 2 points for that success.
What do I think of this race, Raheel? Well, the reason why I didn't tip a pick 6 is I think that any one of 7 can win it. So That's what I think of the race. I think it is wide open. Going back to number 3, Apache Fighter, it was actually interesting when I was going through this race because I narrowed down my PA to 5 runners. Obviously, I can't do that in the field of 7. That would just be stupid. Then I went down to 4, and I was looking at Apache Fighter, and I nearly took her out until I looked at her distance record, because I'd be of the opinion, and I might not be too far off the mark, I'd still say she's more of a racehorse over more than 1,800 metres, but she's still effective over 1,800 metres. So that swayed me into thinking that number 3, Apache Fighter, will go well. I don't know if there is a horse to beat in this race. I don't know if you can be overly strong. So I think it's a nice race to perhaps play box exactas with 3 horses and almost hope for the bet. Maybe there's other ways of making money in the opening leg of jackpot number 1. So number 3, Apache Fighter, definitely in the race. Like you say, a hard-fought win last time over Quiet Rebellion, quiet form line. Jeffrey Saister does a lot of work for Roy Magnus, so I'd assume that he's been putting a leg over Apache Fighter every morning, so I wouldn't be too worried about that. Pity Raymond Danielson isn't riding, because he actually had a nice book of rides. Number 1, Say Yes, out of a feature last time out. She might have been outgunned. There was a lot of talk for her last time, as it generally is for horses from this yard. She was beaten by Silver Sanctuary, who runs at grade 1 level just a few days later, so number 1, Say Yes, certainly has every chance. And then number 4, LMB. She might lack that high-class ability, but she's definitely got a little bit of guts, bit of courage, and she runs above herself time and time again. Gavin Lorena takes her out for Sean Terry. When they team up, there's normally business to be done. But Terry standard, she's sparingly raced. The fact that she's, 4.5 years old, and she's only run 9 times, but majority of her runs she's been banging at the door, so she's generally good value for money. 1, 3, and 4 for me, but pick 6 jackpot, use an open mind.
Yeah, it certainly does look to be that type of race here, and especially if you get a horse like Ballroom Bliss, poor little Rich Girl coming through to win, you are dropping quite a lot of tickets.
By the way, sorry, Rio, that's a chance. Poor little Rich Girl, big chance. That's my next selection.
Yeah, at around 10 to 1 in the market, having first run over in the Highveld. Keep a very close eye on this individual. With just 52 kgs on the back, she could certainly make her presence felt in a big way. Race number 5 on the program, a fillies and mares 74 handicap over 1,800 meters, 14:45 is the off time. It's a start of jackpot 2. Vit Blit is your favorite at 11 to 10. It's 7 to 2. Rosie Lemon 8 to 1. Pretty in Pearls. Turn the page, and then you get in 12 to 1. And better bar those. Now this filly Vit Blit, last time out, a facile winner, beaten Ariel's Jet, and it does look to be the right type of race for her to win again, given that it's only a 74 handicap and she's got 60 kgs on the back. She's a filly that could just be ahead of the handicapper, even though she's gone up 8 points for that last success. The way she's winning is certainly very encouraging.
On the evidence of that last win, she'll take all the beating, Ricky. A little bit worried about the form of the yard on Tuesday. When there's a wobble with the stable, there's a wobble. When things are good, it's great. Calvin Abib takes her out for Tony Peter in the colours of Suzette Fillion. You know, it was a hard-fought win over Courageous at a penultimate start. Courageous came out and ran second. Heart Peaks came out and franked that form. So for maiden form, and obviously Vitblit franked her own form, for maiden form, that's a neat piece of form. Certainly going into Fillies and Mares 74, I'd say it's compelling enough to tip Vitblitz on top. And as you say, her last win was so good, beating Ariel's Jet. She never looked like losing. So if in the same form, despite an 8-point penalty, she'll be a hard horse to beat. But I've got in with a few of the golden oldies just to potentially trouble her and take a chance of doubling up in the PA. 3, Rosie Lemon's been holding form. Gavin Lorena's up for Fadi Bronco. She's been on the boil for a while, has Rosie Lemon. Her last run came against Boys when she stayed on nicely behind Little Prince. If the pace is on, that'll be a big asset for number 3, Rosie Lemon, and I can see the pace being pretty genuine in this race. And then number 10, Silver Hunt, I think she needed her last run, and she was beaten 8.5 lengths by Gimme Another. Might not look pretty, wasn't pretty, but I think she's a fair degree better than that. She ran 5 lengths to My Soulmate. My Soulmate actually ran nicely in the Betway Fillies Mile on Saturday. She was posted out 3 deep. She ended up running 4.5 lengths behind in 5th. She's going to be a force in the Wilkerbos Triple Tiara. She'll be there and thereabouts on those races. So number 10, Silver Hunt's off a light weight now. Second run after a break with Gimme Another's name looking a lot more promising now than it did when this card went to print. Number 10, Silver Hunt, for me, is the overpriced horse in the race and the moneymaker.
Yeah, 12 to 1 in the market, 2 to 1 for top 3 place. Sorry, what was that, Alistair?
No, nothing.
Oh.
You were just giving the market 1 and 2 to 1. I just quickly cast my eye over and thought of nice each way players in on the cards here.
Yeah, most definitely. 2-1 a place, 12-1 for the win. That does look to be attractive odds about a filly that got a neat draw and should certainly strip much fitter now going over 1,800 meters. So that could be one to keep a very close eye on in race number 5. And possibly if you want a bit of a result, maybe that could be the horse to play against number 1, Vitblitz, who does look to be the one to beat. Moving along to race number 6 on the program, 2,850 meters. This is an MR84 handicap. 20 past 3 is the off time. Battleground is the even money favorite. 33-10 about rulebook. 7-2 Namakwa Blossom. And then it's 10-1 and better bar those. Now, with a lot of these horses, it's sort of unknown territory whether they'll see out the extra distance. But then you've got some that have proven themselves even past this trip. So what's your thoughts on race number 6? Is it a one-horse race, Battleground to the winner's enclosure, or it's a race where you can get a result?
No, for me, there are 2 horses here, Raheel. They're 1 and 3 with 3 rulebook. My top selection over number 1, Battleground. My line of thinking is as follows. I know they met last time behind Flying Bull. Battleground has, 2.5 lengths to play with over rulebook. But I think they meet on identical terms, so that's got to be taken on board. And obviously the weight turnaround here is relative. Battleground has the worst draw. He's got a lot of time to overcome it. But it's 450 meters in a stayers race is a long way. And I think the extra 450 meters is going to help number 3 rulebook, because I think he finishes off his race as well as number 1 Battleground, and maybe the 2 kilos that he receives over this trip might do him a favour. Maybe I'm clutching at straws. Battleground deserves his place at the top of the board. He is an absolute definite pick 6 and jackpot inclusion. But in the place accumulator, I've just taken the opportunity to bank in number 3 rulebook. I don't think there'll be much between them. Of the others, maybe number 5 Namakwa Blossom coming to hand could be the danger to those 2, but I can't see anyone but 1 or 3 winning this race, Raheel.
Yeah, numbers 1 and 3, the top 2 in the market, and the 2 that Alistair suggests you go with in race number 6. Moving along to race number 7, a graduation plate over 1,160 meters. When we have a look at the market, Garlands of Greenery is your favorite at 16-10. It's 4-1 about Wise Act, 9-2 Cornwall. Then it's 11-2 Red Hot Rose, 7-1 and better bar those. Now, this filly Garlands of Greenery, there was a lot of talk for on debut. There was a lot of support, and when I had a look at a pedigree, I thought to myself, 1160, surely that's going to be a bit too sharp for her, because the dam won, I think it was over a mile, but the way she won signals that, it shows that she's clearly above average, and the form was franked over the weekend with Virgin River coming through to win. Do you think she's got what it takes to win straight out the maidens?
I definitely do, Raheel. The worry is obviously the inside draw, but in a small field, she'll hopefully have enough pace to work across and get into the hunt early with a bit of pace around her as well. So maybe she'll get a nice toe through. Calvin Abib takes her out. Obviously, Pierce Stratham riding 53.5. Those days were gone about 20 years ago. So number 8, Garlands of Greenery, my top selection, especially on the fact that Virgin River won such a good race on Betway Summer Cup Day. That is traditionally a strong maid, and the form works out well. I know what Sean Terry thinks of that second, also owned by the Drakenstein studs. So there's a lot to like about the form that number 8 Garlands of Greenery brings into the picture. I was disappointed to hear the price that you gave about number 3 Wise Act. I thought we'd get a little bit better price than what we're getting about the Son of Active War. Very well-related horse. He's related to a lot of well-performed sprinters, Bohica being the pick of the crop in that particular family. Outside draw, that's what you want to see, although Joburg's been unbelievably dry over the last couple of weeks and expected to be so for another week at least. So I'd suggest that draw bias is probably not quite as evident now as it would be on a sticky track, but still you'd still rather see a high number down the straight. Gavin Lorena takes her out as a horse. And obviously with the numbers that he brings in, Wise Act is a very easy on the eye Son of Active War. You'll pick him out very easily on the way that he moves, on the way that he looks. And his 2 runs today have been very encouraging. So they're the 3 horses for me, 3 and 8 in the place accumulator. Include Cornwall in the pick 6, potentially also number 5 Red Hot Rose. I know those are all horses trading at near the top of the boards, but I do believe Garlands of Greenery just hold the aces over number 3 Wise Act, but an interesting race all the same.
It will be interesting to see how Garlands of Greenery does go in this contest, and if she happens to win, where to next for this daughter of Give Me the Green Light that is sure to enjoy a bit of a trip as well. And Sean Terry, he seems to have a lovely string as we head further as we get in deeper into the season 2023-2024. Moving along to race number 8 on the program, 1400 meters the distance. This is the final race. It's an MR82 handicap. 4:30 is the off time. Real Relief is at 3-1. Sunshine Day trading at 33 to 10, 9 to 2 about after hours, 6 to 1 Golden Prospect, and it's 10 to 1. And better bar those you can scratch. Number 3, Slinky Mapimpi. Now this filly Sunshine Day pole position draw I think is a huge advantage, and her form was done justice over the weekend with Give Me Another winning a Group 2, and surely 3 lengths to Give Me Another conceding 1 kg should be good enough in a race of this nature to see her as one of the leading lights.
Absolutely, Raheel. So when I first looked at this race, and this was before Saturday's Betway Summer Cup, obviously with Candice having a runner and having a look what's going on in this race, I remember when Golden Prospect ran his most recent start, 4 3/4 lengths to DJ Junior. To my eye, I said, next time that runs, I'm going to climb into number 2 Golden Prospect. Third run after race, he'll be cherry ripe. Everything's going to go, everything's sort of leading to him building to this type of crescendo. So I like number 2 Golden Prospect, but that's more judgment rather than form. Then obviously number 8 Real Relief, third run after race, the run to Tail of the Comet. I don't know what to make of Tail of the Comet. I think he's still a mighty good horse, but the loss has just been lost ever so slightly after Sunday. But still, all the same, a good improvement from the first run to the second run after a break where he had a bad draw last time out, so he could be popping this time around. But then, as you mentioned, number 10 Sunshine Day has got plenty in her favour. A lighter weight, draw 1, the form to Give Me Another. She won a decidedly average maiden when winning a work riders maiden beating Flying Puma. I wouldn't want too many Flying Pumas in my yard, but the points of Sunshine Day stepped up adequately. Might have been disappointing at the time, but after Saturday, I think the connections will be pretty pleased if you got a filly of the same age, and also giving her a little bit of weight, giving her 1 kilo, and you 3 lengths inferior to the Betway Fillies mile winner, then I think you'll believe that you got something on your hands. So number 10 Sunshine Day over the last few days has been promoted to my first choice, but I do have a lot of time for the other 2 Golden Prospects and 8 Real Relief. Maybe play your trifectas and quartets weirdly revolving around those 2 horses.
Yeah, this horse Golden Prospect rated at 96, come down to 83, could be on the right mark to be competitive. 5 points dropped after his last start. Alistair could be onto something here with a 6 to 1 shot Golden Prospect in race number 8. We're going to move along to the suggested bet, and Alistair will take us through his place accumulator for racing on Thursday. Alistair, take it away with that PA.
Later starts in the 8 race card, so the PA begins at 1 o'clock, so punters have a bit of time to get their days in order. I've gone 2 and 10 on the first leg, so Just Nuisance and To the Rescue. I really like To the Rescue there. By Banker 5 Springer. By 1, 3 and 4 Say Yes, Apache Fighter and LMB. Thank goodness it's a small field for pick 6 purposes. Then in race 5, which is leg 4, I've gone 1, 3 and 10 Vitblitz, Rosie Lemon and Silver Hunt. By Banker 3 Rulebook, but I believe number 1 Battleground has every chance as well. By 3 and 8 Wise Act and Gardens of Greenery, and then the final leg 2 Golden Prospect, 8 Real Relief, and number 10 Sunshine Day.
Certainly looks to be quite a nice card for punters to get involved in, and hopefully Alistair has managed to guide you in the right direction, and you find yourself in the winner's queue. Alistair, thanks very much for your time, and all the best. Have a wonderful week.
Sweet Raheel, thank you so much to you and all the viewers. Hope that it's a great week ahead. Obviously no half-out racing, so I'll chat to you all again for next Tuesday's meeting. But for those that are thinking of coming to Hollywoodbets Kenilworth on Saturday, I couldn't recommend it anymore. It's going to be unbelievable racing. Day 2 of the Summer Festival. Bigger, better, onwards, upwards, and the quality on offer as well, worth the entrance fee.
Absolutely, and you can catch all of the action from Hollywoodbets Kenilworth on Gallop TV on Saturday. All the best on a Thursday with racing out at Turffontein. Hopefully it treats you well.